There's this scene in history where the great Mongol Khan Ogadai is about to die from a mysterious illness. This is the son of Genghis Khan, and he had inherited the world's greatest empire, with instructions from his father on the scores that he needed to settle. As he lay comatose, the people around him are trying to figure out what to do. They determine that he's being affected by Chinese dark magic, and they start trying to figure out how to clear the spells. Eventually, after going back and forth, someone suggests that they sacrifice someone from the royal family. Right as this idea was suggested, the comatose Ogadai woke up briefly and was like, "Oh, water, water." The advisors took this as a sign that this was in fact what needed to be done to appease the spirits. Now the next step was figuring out who in the royal family was going to be sacrificed. And while they were going back and forth on this as well, into the yurt walks Genghis Khan's youngest son, Tului. Everyone stops talking and looks at him. What's going on, guys? Tului, they say, we think that in order to save your brother, we need to sacrifice you. What would you have thought of this suggestion? What a rough way to enter a room. But Tului was there when his father chose Ogadai as the great Khan. He knew the ultimate plan, and he knew what it meant to his father. So he said, yeah, of course, take me. He was then given a poison and killed. This sounds absurd to us. These advisors and generals were literally reading the insides of birds and things to deduce this. But if it is so absurd, why has sacrifice been written into our cultures since the first humans? In the Bible, God sacrificed his son. Vikings did human sacrifice. Christianity has Lent. Islam has Ramadan. Hindus fast before Navratri. And something that can't be brushed aside is that in this heroic example of Tului, his brother Ogadai actually got better and went on to expand the empire further. Would that have happened regardless? Or did the sacrifice actually do something? Here's where it gets iffy though. Sacrifice needs to be undertaken voluntarily. The Mayans would go to neighboring tribes, kidnap everyone, make them slaves, and sacrifice them to the gods. But is it really a sacrifice if the people being sacrificed aren't doing it willingly? That person made the sacrifice, yes, but they didn't want to. You sacrifice them, but you don't care about them. Sacrifice needs to be voluntarily undertaken to have meaning. Sacrifice is something that needs to be important to you, but it also needs to be voluntary. Without those things, it rings hollow, and whatever gain you hope to make from it will not be realized. It sounds kind of weird. It's just something that I've been thinking about. And we also won't ever be able to say for certain, but something that I never ignore is when multiple cultures over multiple continents who have had no communication with each other come to similar solutions. Sacrifice is one of those things. It doesn't have to be yourself or other humans, but making sacrifices for your goal does appear to have very real power.